Hey, what's up, everybody? Check it out. So if you remember a few weeks ago, we had Snoop, Alan Evans, the Snoop on Bass Nation Academy. He showed us this classical. I can't even get it. It's still confusing me. It's a crazy classical thump thing that he showed us. It's amazing. It's also a great exercise by itself without the thump. So I'm going to be breaking that down just a little bit more, just to use as an everyday exercise. If that was too or a little too advanced for you guys, I know it was a little advanced for me too. I'm still trying to get it. So we're going to be breaking that down, the fingering and just the fundamentals and the melodies that you can get out of it. So let's go. So first things first, I don't know if you guys seen the actual video of him showing me this exercise, but I was fumbling around everywhere. But I was trying to make sure I use my methods of trying to figure out a new exercise or a new scale that I use all the time. So I try to figure out the similarities of what I've already learned, of what I already know. So I try to pick out the patterns of what he was playing. I try to have him slow it down, just kind of repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Repetition is key when you're trying to get this stuff down. So I noticed the pattern when he played this exercise. Okay, so that was the pattern in the beginning, like that arpeggio, that skipping arpeggio. So he played the major scale, the 1, the 3, and the 6. Okay, so that kind of occurred every single time on top of every single root note. So so he went 1, 3, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4. Okay, da 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 da. That's a nice little, you know, back and forth movement from the 5 to the 4 to end off that exercise and to end off that phrase. And then went back down to the 2. All right, so altogether you have 1, 3, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and that same pattern occurred for every single root note that he played. So for the first note, for the tonic, and then the second note, and it did the same exact thing, but it was diatonic to the scale. So it may not seem like shape-wise or pattern-wise the same exact way as every single phrase or every single method or passage that he played, but it was the same pattern, okay? So I tried to skip those patterns. I tried to make sure I made a mental note of that pattern every single time. So 1, 3, 6. Now, if I started on the second note, I'm going to do 1, 3, 6 of that scale. So say, for instance, we're playing like the Dorian, we're in C major now. So 1, 3, 6 of the Dorian scale, because we're going diatonic to the scale. So we have to use the notes inside of the scale. So diatonically 1, 3, 6 from the Dorian scale is what? We have a 1, we have a minor 3, then we have a major 6. We have right? Okay, so that was the move. So using the Dorian scale. But the way to play that, when we were playing up there on this part of the fretboard, we have the 4th finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, and then walk it back down, the same exact pattern. So 1, 3, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I'm using the numbers starting on that note that we're starting on. So say, for instance, I'm starting on the D. I'm using the 1, 3, 6 starting from the D. Now the next note of that major scale, C, D, E, I'm going to start on that note and use that scale, use that mode, the Phrygian mode, C, not C, from the E. So if we have 1, 3, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, that's the pattern. I'll put it up on the screen here. 1, 3, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. I hope I'm saying that right. 1, 3, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. So I used that to my advantage. Every single passage was exactly the same pattern. So just take it slow. All right, for the third one, I'm using for the Phrygian, I'm using the 1, the 3, and the 6 of the Phrygian scale. The Phrygian scale would normally be. Okay, so I'm using the 1, the 3, and the 6 of the Phrygian scale. Walking it back down, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. And it's literally just using the modes that we've already learned. So Ionian. That would be kind of crazy, kind of difficult to play it that way. So that's why we're playing it up here in this register of the bass. So you keep going and keep going and keep going until you get to the end. So we got B, starting from the B, that Locrian scale. Remember the Locrian scale started on B, had a flat 5, flat 2, minor 3, 4, flat 5, 6, minor 6, minor 7, and then we're back home to your tonic or to your root note. Okay, so you just keep repeating that pattern over and over again. I just wanted to break this down a little bit more for you guys just to use as an actual exercise. So I'm stealing this from Snoop, he knows this. So I steal most of my licks and my ideas and things like that. His mind is crazy. He thinks so different, and I respect that. As a musician, as a bass player, you don't really hear a lot of bass players sound like him, and that's what I really love about him. So we're going to steal this exercise. We call it the Snoop exercise. And I think I call it the Snoop classical thump. So yeah, that's tough to me. I'm still working on it. So don't feel bad if you couldn't get that at first, and I make sure, I think I said advanced slap lesson, and that is definitely an advanced slap lesson. You're using all elements and all the techniques, the thumb up, down, the pluck, first finger, second finger up. Yeah, you're using everything. I'll have it and I'll show you guys. Next week, I'll show you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to break that down just a little bit more so you guys can get a gist. Also, guys, keep this in mind. There's going to be a part 2 to this, and there's another exercise, and there's another pattern that I realized, and I made another exercise out of this exercise. It's crazy. That's my method. That's my way of doing things when I'm trying to learn an exercise and get comfortable with it, or really trying to understand why it sounds so pleasing melodically. Okay, so there's going to be a part 2 to this. Okay, it's not going to be his particular exercise. It's going to be my exercise I created off of his exercise. Anyway, you got the idea. So write your comments in the comment section. If you have any questions, write those down there as well. You know what to do. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.